All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. I also want to give double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, blessings and salutations unto the elect of Yasharahla, as well as the hopeful elect, the Akim out there enduring this truth across the four corners of the earth, teaching and preaching through the spirit of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI in truth and sincerity, as well as the men and women that follow, and those who might look like the other nations, but are of the nation of Israel and their father's side by blood. And I wanted to get into a lesson, going off of the spirit, really. I had listened to two lessons today, one from Elder Yashawamba and one from Apostle Elder Gabar. And they both brought out this same precept. So it's kind of been on my mind today, and kind of comforting as well, But I'll go ahead and get to it. This is Matthew 24:30. It says, "And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory." Now, when the Lord came the first time, they got away with certain things. Well, he's coming back and said clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And remember, he's not going to meet thee as a man. And as the Elder Yashawama was explaining, or it could have been Elder Apostle Gabar, I forget. But this great glory, he's coming back in that. I believe it was Elder Yashawama, because he was going into the second death and the first fruits. But he's coming back in that new body. All right. He ain't coming back like he came before. Like he said, this is my kingdom. My servants will fight. You don't think I can call 12 legions of angels? All right. He's coming back in his glory because he did his part, man. Same as us. We got to do our part. If we want to be part of verse 31, which says, "And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of the heaven to the other." And that's what this is about, man. This is about the elect through Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. All right. YAHAWASHI came down here and ultimately died for the nation of Israel, Yasharahla, the Israelites, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay. But on this first go round, to avoid the second death, which is going to be by nuclear fire, pursuing the 2 Peter's, the 3rd chapter. All right. It might be 1 Peter's, the 3rd chapter. Yeah, I think it's 2 Peter's. We'll double check. Yep, 2 Peter is the 3rd chapter. All right, and I'll get it real quick. Verse 10, just get straight to it. It says, "But the day of the Lord," Salakia, I really gotta go up and get the point. Let it hit home real quick. This is 2 Peter 3:5. It says, "For this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of the Most High the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished. But the heavens and the earth which are now by the same word are kept in store." So if it's by that same word, meaning it's going to happen. All right, it says, "Reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men." Everybody speaks about the day of the Lord, his second coming. All right, judgment day. Well, this is what's going to be happening. There's going to be a lot of fire, a lot of cleansing going on. All right, jumping back into Matthew chapter 24, verse 31. Okay. And it says, I'm going to read it again. It says, "And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other." And they're going to look like all nations. Salakia. They're going to be looking like all nations as well, man. Because we've been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. So we've dealt with the women of the other nations, but planted our seed in those women, and our children, all right, is an Israelite by blood based off the seed of the man, but would over time start to look like the other nations. Verse 32, it says, now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. When it starts to bloom, starts to blossom, starts to get green, start to see life in it from that dead estate, from the cold, from the winter. All right. It says, so likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the door. All right. And as of now, we haven't really entered. When we go, read earlier in the chapter, it gives you different signs. Some of them have come to pass and some of them have not. But guess what? We haven't entered into that great tribulation, or that day like never before. We haven't entered into that. That hasn't happened yet. Okay. So that's one of the things that still need to come. Because he said, so likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near. And that's one thing we haven't just seen yet. But so it's saying when that happens, right? When that happens, it's even closer. The MOTB happens. It's even closer. Past couple of days, they've been firing off with words about World War III. Because the scriptures don't lie. They're written, they're inspired by YAHAWASHI. Pursuing the 2 Timothy 3 and no. I think that's 1 Timothy 3 and 16. All right. Let's get it. Let's make sure. It must be 2 Timothy. Yep. 2 Timothy 3 and 16. It says, all scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. Right? Let's look up this word, inspiration. It says immediate influence of God or a God, especially that under which the holy books were written, inhaling, breathing in inspiration, right? Because like he said, prophesying to them, and that wind came and breathed life unto them, okay? It says inspire, excite, inflame. That's like the spirit, like Jeremiah said, the spirit like fire shut up in his bones, man. Because when the Lord allow you to be inspired, right? Like it says, in to breathe in, to take in that spirit. Okay. It even goes back to spirit, which says life, the animated and vital principle in man or animals. And like I said, we was in a dead state. Now YAHAWASHI has allowed us to be inspired. He allowed us to breathe in the words by the spirit of YAHAWASHI. Okay, now we read these words and take them and digest them, and utilize them. All right. That's what helps us keep going. That's what keeps our gears turning, man. All right. So let me hop back up here. I don't want to make this too long. Back in 24, it says, verse 34, it says, verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all things be fulfilled, which is beautiful. Now, this was said back then, so it would have to mean that generation is back. All right? Or else they would make the scriptures a lie. It says, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. Different rulers and dominions and kingdoms and empires going to be ruling, and the earth is going to be getting old, so to speak. But it's not like the earth is going to be destroyed. It said the earth dang, I forgot how it's worded. Might have said endureth forever or something to that effect. But there is no end of the earth. All right. But these dominions, and right now Esau is in power. He's ruling. So his heaven and his earth is going to be done away. It's going to pass away. As it says in Esdras, the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. All right. This is verse 37. It says, but as in the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. So people are going to get caught off guard because they're busy doing whatever. All right, whatever they're doing to not be able to give it up and come serve YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI. It says, verse 40, then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken and the other left. Everybody's not going to make it. You could have people close to you that you work with, that you, who your family members. It could be sons, daughters, mother, father, sister, brother, favorite cousin, whatever. Everybody's just not going to make it. That's just how the Lord set this up. Once again, it's for the elect. That's who the angels are going to come and gather up, the elect. Okay, not anybody, not everybody, but the elect. Okay. Verse 41, it says, two women shall be grinding at the mill. The one shall be taken and the other left. Once again, everybody can't make it. And verse 42, which I want to end it on, it says, watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doeth come. And that's the thing. You read up earlier, he said only his Father know. Not even the angels know. Okay? So within us, we need to take heed and do what we supposed to be doing and got to do to, be in the Lord's good graces when he returned, man. Okay. But I just wanted to get into that a little bit. Like I said, the scripture came up twice. I was like, I'm gonna just do a lesson over it. It's a beautiful read. It's telling you, how the Lord's coming, what's gonna happen when he do come, if in case you had any questions. All right, and it's telling you a lot of people ain't gonna even care. They're gonna continue to live their lives. All right. And you don't want such people within your life and try to, drag you into their BS. But yeah, with that, Lord willing, you was edified, and Lord willing, we allowed to endure to the end. Once again, I want to give all praises unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Shalom.